Ba. Welcome to another episode of the Get Hit podcast. We're gang and we're here. I'm your host, Picante. And today, bro, we're gonna have a little slice of Emmanuel. Today we're gonna dive into my head and all the crazy shit that I think about every single time. I'm watching a new series on Netflix called Travelers. And actually it's an interesting concept. So the travelers are like a bunch of people that programmed an AI, and the AI lives on in the future. So in the future, right, the AI actually has found a way to send human conscience to almost dying people in this day and age, right? Like into the past, which is technically the present, right? So okay, they're from the future. The program was built in the future. It managed to send people from the future into the past, but not as time travel, but as the travel of consciousness to already dying people, right? You see where I'm going with this? So like that means that the moment that you're trying to die, they infiltrate your mind and they keep you from dying. But you don't become your previous self. You become the new person's conscious from the future. Do you understand? Do you understand where I'm going with this? Yeah, it's a tricky concept. Like when I first read the summary, I was like, it's a good show. It's not the greatest. It's a good show, and some of the concepts actually make sense. But it got me thinking, what if God never happened? I wrote a bunch of things on the paper, and I like to the professors and to everyone who's listening. Like I just want. Okay, my concept is simple. If God never happened, right? Because God is in the future. God cannot be in the past because the past technically has existed, but God has not existed. He's existing and he continue to exist. So what if God is not in the past, but technically God is in the future? Do you understand where I'm going with this though? Because in order for you to know the past, you must be from the future because the past has already happened on that infinite timeline. So if you were to know the past, you can't know the past from the past. You can only know the past if you are from the future. You see the shit that I think about, bro. This is the shit that I think about. Like shout out to travelers. Like it got me this new concept of thinking. Like, yeah, what if God does not exist in the past, but He exists in the future? That concept makes 100% sense because tomorrow never comes. It's like the perfect way to describe God is tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Because okay, think about it like this. What day is going to be tomorrow? In Canada right now, it is what's the day? It is a Thursday, right? Perfect. It's a Thursday. What if when you say tomorrow then will be Friday. But tomorrow never comes because when Friday comes, the next day, which is going to be the next day after tomorrow, is also another tomorrow. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So when you move into Friday, you don't actually move into tomorrow, but you move into the present of the day that you're in. And the last day became your past. So tomorrow never comes. We are never in tomorrow. What if God exists in tomorrow? The day that never comes. When you say, okay, I'm trying to explain this concept because it's a very, very tricky concept. And this is what my puny mind is thinking about. So imagine professors what they think about. I don't. So here's what I'm trying to say. The concept of tomorrow implies the future. However, humans are never able to go into the tomorrow because the next day or the day that we are calling tomorrow will be our present in our current form. We can never pass tomorrow because tomorrow never comes. It's always the present that we live in. We know the past because we've been from the past. However, we can never know tomorrow because tomorrow never comes. Does that make sense? Like what the fuck I'm saying? Does it make absolutely sense? I just wanna know. Okay, so I wrote a bunch of questions. Actually, it's not questions. That is gonna help me stay on point a little bit. Okay. All right. Okay. So here it is. What if God is the future that never happened? Think about it. What if God is the future that never happened? The only way that God could know whatever has happened and whatever is going to happen is if he's from a time, or not even a time, because you can't call it time, because time is present. Time is not the future. The future is not time. Time is present. It's not. Time is the present and the past. Time cannot be the future, right? You get what I'm going with this? Like the concept of the future doesn't make sense because when you're in it, it becomes the present. In order for you to be from the future, you have to move or be able to move from your present into the past. And that will mean that you've moved into the future. But you can't move forward in time without you being in the present. What the fuck am I saying, bro? Anyway, that will explain a lot of things if God never happened and if God is in the future. Because if God is in the future, that will allow him to be omnipotent and omnipresent. Because then he knows everything, right? And then he could manipulate anything to his liking. So he knew the past. That's the beginning of all time. He said he is what he is, though. He said he was. He's the I am that I am, that was, and that's going to be. And that says everything. God is not from the past. God is actually from the future. He said he knows the beginning and the end. You cannot know the beginning if you're in the present. You can only know the beginning and the end if you're from the future. Holy fuck. Okay, let's come back. That mean that God never happens. And what I mean by God never happens, because when something happens, it's a timeline in the present. But if it doesn't happen, that means it doesn't exist. But God exists because he's the future, he's tomorrow. That simply solves it. God does not exist in any timeline. God is not on a fixed point. He's just tomorrow. He's tomorrow. That's how he knows whatever is going to happen, whatever is supposed to happen, and whatever could happen. And maybe he's been manipulating us for a long time, which we don't know. But that's okay. You know? That's okay. That's okay. Because the past is the past. However, the future is the unknown. And the origin of God is unknown. Did I just solve religion? Did I just mathematically solve God with logic? What the fuck? Did I just solve the existence of God with logic? I might be a genius. That sounded really corny though for those who listen to me. But yeah, I really think that I just solved the existence of God. He's both non existent and existent at the same time, like a quantum state, on and off. But it still exists and it doesn't exist. So does God exist? I don't know. But I know He exists because the future exists. Although for us, it's to become a present when we get there, it still exists. Maybe that's why we can't comprehend the things that we would want to comprehend about God, because God officially is not existent in this generation. Sorry, in this plane. He doesn't exist in this plane. I don't know, like, I believe in heaven and hell. Whether you believe it to be heaven or hell, the 16th dimension, the 12th dimension, whatever dimension you think it is, but God exists beyond the concept of time. Because the only way that the prophecies in the Bible could have made sense is if somebody from the future came to the past to tell or to inspire, or through the consciousness, as the traveler said, through the conscious transfer, right? Through consciousness transfer, was able to replicate the events of the future, because that time would have been their present. Does that make sense? Am I making sense, bro? Huh. Anyway, I just want to thank conclude this message. I want to say a big shout out to our sponsor, Pharmadex Inc. Bring your Pharmadex to you. Pharmadex Inc. is a pharmaceutical and medical delivery service. They are currently located in the GTA, the Greater Toronto area. They have rates starting at $199 for individual purchases to $49.99 for bulk pharmaceutical delivery purchases. I know some pharmacies deliver to homes and stuff. Pharmadex has all your delivery and logistics tools available for use. To contact them, go to their website at PHARMEDX online ONLENE one word.com to get your quote. That's the starting price. Anyway, check out their website, you see their rate. And also, they said they're introducing a new product called the U Massage, the U Massager. It's coming soon. More information is available on Pharmadex Inc. Please check them out. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for subscribing. This segment with the gang in here podcast, but this segment actually is called "Piece of Imano's Mind," a taste of a taste of Picante's mind. Come spice it up. Yeah, and thank you guys for listening to me. Have a good day.